Focused.
I'm so sorry. Well, dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Unicorn Battle Middle East and Africa. My name is Elena Evtushenko and I'm head of Startup Battle Asia. Also, let me introduce my beautiful colleague Anna Fedorova. Anna is CEO of Startup Battle, Unicorn Battle.
Unicorn.Events.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, hello world, and we are starting summer season with the hottest part of our planet, Middle East and Africa. And we are here today for the Unicorn Battle to select the best local startups who will compete in front of our wonderful jury, who will introduce a little bit later, and the winner of our battle today will participate in our finals. And all our events all over the world happening thanks to our sponsors: Platinum sponsor, Network VC California Seed Fund, Golden sponsor, Silicon Valley Syndicate Club, and our silver sponsor, Startup Inc. and wonderful friends from Quarry. Welcome. And as I told you, we are all looking forward to our Unicorn Cup, that is World Finals, where the winners of unicorn battles that will be taking place during our summer season will compete, and the finalist can be only one. So mark the date in your calendar. It is the July 15th. It will be the whole day event. We will start when the sun rises over Asia and go with the sun all over our planet, finding the best startup there is. So be sure you are there. Unicorn.Events. It's an open competition, a business event for the startups, and we are the world's largest event, pitch event for by geography and the number of the events held already. We started our battles back in 2009 and have done enormous number of them all over the world. During our events, best startups meet famous investors and business angels, and we are doing a good job. Look at our numbers. Every startup pitching live has a great opportunity to interact personally with our wonderful guests, VCs, business angels. We like making people happy and hope this event will bring us also a great deals. And we are welcoming new partners. Starting this year, we are doing unicorn pitches with our local partners. We have been all over the world, but if we haven't been to your country, to your region, or you would like to do business with us, please make sure to contact me directly or our wonderful hosts, Lena and Kate, and we will talk about it in private. And exciting news, we are opening the 6th continent. You cannot be global if you haven't been on all continents. Decided. Unicorn.Events, and now we will be doing unicorn pitches in Antarctica with the Scientific World Society. We will pick the best startups that solve the problems that Antarctica faces right now: climate changes, the expedition of the goods, the different things that impact all humanity in our planet. This is very important region. And so welcome this fall, every one of us will go to Antarctica. So if you would like to join, please be sure to enroll. And not to miss out any wonderful startup pitches, to meet personally VCs where they share their secrets, how they invest and how to do great deals. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The channel called Unicorn.Events. You can find it easily, and you can see there everything that is happening every minute all over the world with the Unicorn.Events. And also, I would like to introduce you to who we are. And we are the smart ecosystem that consists of various internet platforms and solutions that solves almost any task in the field of innovation and startups. And I would like you to introduce you to every business unit. Startup network is our heart. It's a marketplace for startups, businesses, investors, and service providers. Startup Inc. is an investor onboarding and management platform that gives an access to an exclusive deals with experienced VCs with only 1K entry. Be sure to check it out. Sci-Fi, our acceleration program. Unicorn.Events, the world's largest online startup pitch contest. VC House, a closed online community and network created exclusively for the VCs where they can exchange deals they participate in as a lead investor. If you are VC, you should be there. Network Investments. It's a meeting point for investment banks, startups, and businesses. P2B Capital, local solution for European market. Silicon Valley Syndicate Club is a special structure that allows business angels to invest into the best startups with small checks through syndicate deals. I'm sure you know about it. And Network VC is our seed fund and main center of our venture activities. And right now, that was all from my side almost, and I'm passing the word to Lena. Lena, let's begin the event to discover who is the best startup Middle East and Africa this summer.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. And I pass the word to Kate. Kate?
Thank you, guys. For sure, this event will not be so brightful without the support of our reliable friends. Therefore, I want to express my gratitude to the community partners of today's battle. First of all, to StartX, to Bring Accelerator, to Startup Grind Japan, 100 open startups and LinkedIn local from India, and to Edge 196 Accelerator. By the way, the representatives of these organizations will be on our judge board as well, so you can contact them, and I recommend you to check their websites to find even more brightful opportunities for funding and for fundraising to your startups.
Thank you, Kate. And before we will start the pitch competition, please greet our honored judges who volunteered the valuable time to our event today. The judges, please introduce yourselves and funds you represent shortly for 1 minute, pointing out the industry, check size, state, and geographical location of startups you invest in. But this season, we have a new important category of judges, right, Anna?
Absolutely, Lena. You're right as always. Starting this event, we will be having a special role played by our VIP personalities. They're called official judges. They'll be judging on behalf of their countries. So, dear official judges, I will be asking at the end of the competition which startup was your priority. So please mind that and be prepared for that. And every official judge will be evaluating startups. And I would like to start with the official judge of all our unicorn events, Alexander Soroka, who is founder and CEO of Startup Network, a really global ecosystem that knows everything about startups and international venture capital. Alexander, hello.
Hello, Anna, hello. So it's nice to see such a great official judges near to me. And yes, if you talk about our funds, we have seed fund and we have syndicate fund. Usually we invest up to 500K. We are geographically agnostic today. We are industry agnostic, but we are not stage agnostic. We prefer to invest on seed or on the stage, and we prefer to follow good VCs. Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Welcome, Alexander. And Zarmin Pavri, partner at SDGX Ventures, if I pronounce it right. She will be presenting Australia at our event. Zarmin?
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me. Yes, I'm a partner at SDGX Ventures, and we focus on deep technology, venture capital focused on areas of deep tech and climate solutions. So ticket sizes from initial ticket sizes from 100K with follow-on from $1 million to up to 7 million. So in the areas of, in the regions of Europe, Asia, and Australia. So very lovely to be here.
Wonderful, Zarmeen. Thank you. And Stephen Yan, managing partner at the Glocal LLC, is presenting Hong Kong at our event today. Hello, Stephen.
Hi. I'm based out of Hong Kong. It's often called Asia's World City. And it was on the back of the famous 1.4 billion consumers in China. And Hong Kong obviously is the capital of the capital market across the region. And we connect entrepreneur startups, with the famous PE funds and the VCs and many family offices looking for great ideas to invest in. And this event is fantastic. And congratulations on going to Antarctica. So we're going to get all the penguins coming in, huh?
We will save all the penguins that are there.
Yeah, and all of the global warming problem, which is amazing. 6 continents. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen. We are really excited ourselves. I wish we could do an offline event in Antarctica, but maybe not this season. And I would like everyone to welcome Anil Joshi, a managing partner at Unicorn India Ventures, and he will be presenting India at our event today. Hello, Anil.
Thanks, Anna. Hello, everyone. I am Anil from Unicorn India Ventures. We are a Mumbai, India-based tech-focused fund. We invest anywhere around $500,000 to $2 million and go up to $6 to $8 million. Currently, we have a portfolio of 25 companies in India, and we also have a small portfolio of 7 companies in UK. Glad to be part of today's event. Look forward to that.
Wonderful, welcome. And Rico Pan, managing director at Sanctum Ventures. He will be presenting Malaysia.
Hi everyone, Rico from Malaysia. Hello. But at the moment, I'm actually in Dubai. We actually moved to Dubai because the cases in Malaysia is way too.
It's even better. It's in the region. Okay, it's even better.
Yes, and we are in MENA region at the moment, and we are also setting up our fund in the DIFC at the moment. So we will have access to more funds. We are a global fund. We invest in deep tech sectors. Our ticket size range from $100,000 pre-seed round to Series A, 10 million. And we also organize a Deep Tech Forum. You can find out more in deeptechforum.com. Some of you have already attended my Deep Tech Forum event, where we also incubate quite a number of deep techs. So we are a venture studio. We are also investors. Thank you.
Wonderful. Welcome. And that was our wonderful official judges board, but we also have expert board. Without our experts, we would never be able to select the best startup in a region. Right, Liana?
Yeah.
We have a wonderful expert board today.
And yeah.
Would you present us those judges also?
Yeah, from Burak Günsel. Burak, could you introduce yourself and your fund, please?
Sure. Hi to everyone. I am Burak Günsel, managing partner from Boğaziçi Ventures Istanbul. We have 2 active funds. One of them is BV Growth, which supports growth stage startups. Our ticket size is between $500,000 to $3 million. Some of our focus areas are gaming, fintech, blockchain tech, AI, and big data. Our second fund is BVB, which is actually a venture building company that invests around 40 to 50% into venture and become an operating co-founder within the startup. Some of our venture building services are marketing, advanced user acquisition, international expansion, UX, CX, and continuous funding with evergreen structure. BVB, the main building company, is also going for IPO in 2 years. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Sergey Radchenko also with us today. Sergey, introduce yourself.
Yes,
please.
hello everyone. Hello from Cyprus. We are Quanota Investments. I'm the principal partner. We invest globally with particular expertise in Europe, Middle East. We really like to expand our activities in Asia. We invest in various innovative stuff like in fintech, in edutech, space tech. We are very active in blockchain also. So our ticket size is pretty standard from 100K to a couple of million, I would say. So really looking forward to seeing some interesting projects here.
Thank you so much, Sergey. Welcome. So, guys, who would like to be the next one? Tarek?
Hello, hi. My name is Tarek. I'm here today representing the Lab Holding, the IFC-based holding company. We're an investment firm focusing on venture builders and also VC investments. Most of our work revolves around a venture building. Our ticket size through that ranges between $200,000 and $250,000. And for the investments in VCs, we do seed stage between $250,000 and $500,000. And basically, most of our investments in my other capacity, 971 Capital, which I lead, has been fully deployed, and we're currently just managing the portfolio.
Thank you so much. Welcome. So let's continue. Les, the stage is yours. Hello, do you hear me? Okay.
Are you talking to me now?
Yeah. So introduce yourself and your fund.
Oh, I don't have a fund. We're pitching for, I'm number 6 to pitch today, Lena.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, I can go next if you like. My name is Bassem Abu Daga, and I'm based in Dubai. We've been focused on healthcare, education, health tech, ed tech, and prop tech, and we've been basically building, investing in the space, mainly with a regional focus and areas that we can add value, tremendous value. We love that space. We're very excited to be hosting the first event in the UAE, 1st of July, which will be partnered with the team here, and very excited about it. We've got some fantastic startups lined up. Looking forward to this.
Thank you. Great. Would like to be the next one, guys?
I'll go next.
Okay. Yeah, you can continue.
Sorry. Yeah, Jahan Zaib here. I feel a little bit odd one out here because I don't represent a fund, but I lead solution development for new products and solutions at KPMG in Australia. And we're always looking to find really good startups that we can actually work with or partner with. And I'm looking forward to seeing some really good ideas being pitched here tonight.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, I can go next if you like.
Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Patnaja Ruparal. I am from India. I represent, co-founded India's first and now largest angel investor group with over 500 investors from around the world. We've also got a fund which comes in post-angel round, so we are investing really heavily. Having invested in 180 plus companies across 17 sectors, 7 countries, we really bring seed to early stage from about 30,000 US to $7-8 million for entrepreneurs. What we have done and why I think this is a great platform, and I must congratulate you for putting this together. I do believe that, and we've already had a demonstration of that money and mentoring high quality investors coming together from around the world create many high growth companies. In fact, in our own portfolio, we have pushing towards unicorns. So I really welcome this event. Post the event, we can stay in touch, and it would be great if there was a way we could be introduced so that we continue this event in some ways. Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you so much. Great to have you with us today. And
yeah, maybe I can go next. My name is Thomas Abraham. I'm based out of New Delhi, India, and I run a business accelerator for rather a growth accelerator for B2B SaaS startups. In fact, it's my desire to pick really bright, innovative B2B SaaS startups which are pre 1 million in revenue and ensure that we can do a product market fit for the US market and launch them there. I currently have a portfolio of about 10 companies, out of which we have already moved 2 of them into the US market. And my dream is to build B2B SaaS unicorns from rest of the world which can be really present in the US market. I also run a YouTube channel where I do interviews with founders of various startups and various business leaders in the areas around SaaS. My focus areas for now are HR tech, fintech, and blockchain. And I sort of already work with a number of companies in that space. I look forward to hearing out the pitches today. Thank you.
Thank you.
I
Welcome.
can go next if you like.
Yes.
So I'm Nadeem Sheikh. I'm sitting in Islamabad at the moment in Pakistan. So I think I'm representing Pakistan in this call, which is if you haven't been following Pakistan, has become a really exciting space in the entrepreneurial scene for the last couple of years. We're already ahead of the funding for the last quarter. We're ahead of everything we did from last year. So it's really taking off. I represent one of the founders of Neem Exponential. We are a venture builder, like a hybrid venture builder. So we work with early stage startups across the deep vertical sectors, so agriculture, education, financial services. But really our focus is bringing together embedded finance, right? That's how we link all the companies together. So we do early stage companies. We do companies in terms of we take proven models from around the world and implement them as companies within Pakistan. So our focus is in building Pakistani companies for Pakistan, but also as some of the folks on the call have mentioned, we're also building Pakistan companies for the globe. And so that's where the excitement is, and that's what we represent.
Thank you and welcome. Let's continue.
I can go next.
I think, oops, okay.
Oh, sorry, Preeti. Yongama Square. I'm Yongama Square, based in Cape Town, South Africa. I'm the managing partner for Isimovest Venture Capital Partners. We're an early stage and pre-seed VC company. Ticket sizes range between 50,000 to 750,000 USD. We're very early in the market. We are raising our maiden fund called the Technology Innovation and Impact Fund. Looking forward to hearing the pitches and contributing. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome.
All right, from Africa, let's move back to India. So namaste from India. My name is Preeti Chaudhary and I'm the founder of LinkedIn Local India. It is a platform for reskilling and upskilling professionals and students as well as the startup ecosystem. I also represent a few angels and some funds from overseas looking after their interests based out of Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh, which is right in the center of India. Along with that, I am an ally which is working into the equity and inclusion space specifically, whereas the inclusion of more women as founders and into investment as VCs or angels. Thank you, Team Startup Network, for having me back here. It is always a pleasure. Looking forward to today. May the best startup win. All the best to everybody participating. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, Preeti. Welcome.
I think I can jump in. This is Sid from M Square Capital out of Hong Kong and San Francisco. We are an offshoot from Capital Union Investments, where I'm the chief investment officer. We're a multifamily office and we invest stage and sector agnostic. Because we're a family office, we tend to range anything from 100,000 up to 100 million. We are also a fund of funds. So we invest in funds. Some of them are like Lightspeed, Tribe Capital. And then we've been investing fairly early through M Square Capital for the past 3 years and Capital Union for the past 15 years. Everything from Facebook down to Carta and a few startups that are now developing into the Asian market. We also look at investments into China, and MENA is a new sort of focus, glancing focus for us for now. So thank you for having me. I've been to one of these events before, very enlightening. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid. Welcome. And let's continue.
Yeah, I can go next.
I can go ahead.
Yes, please, guys, one by one, please. Yes, who would like?
Hi, this is Manoj. Manoj Agarwal from C Fund India. We are an early stage fund. We invest in Indian startups largely, which work in the Indo-US, India, Middle East corridor. Our focus areas are technology-enabled businesses across fintech, edtech, health tech, and SaaS. Primarily, these are the areas of investment. We've done about 12 investments over the last couple of years. We are in the current phase launching a new fund, which should be operational by next year, while the current fund will continue to invest in another few startups. Thank you. Happy to be here and participating in the
Thank you and welcome.
I can go now if you want. This is Mohammed Al-Kasha from Egypt. I'm the managing partner of Disruptive Ventures. It's a fintech focused fund. We are early stage, so we invest in seed and late seed. Our ticket sizes range starts from 500K to 1.5 in CVC. We are launched last summer. We have currently 6 companies in our portfolio. Before I did the fund, I was the managing director of Fowry, which we exited last year. It is one of the unicorn in Africa. Thank you. Happy to be with you today.
Thank you. Welcome. Bhavik?
Hi, I can go next.
Yes, please.
Hello, everyone. This is Bhavik Vasa. I'm from India. I'm a fintech founder and operator myself. Been at it over a couple of ventures in the last decade. An active angel investor and also the founder of GetVantage. We are a revenue-based funding platform in India and been very, very actively investing up to $500,000 across e-commerce and B2B SaaS businesses. Looking forward to this platform as well to look at good and early stage startups. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Okay, would like to be the next one, guys?
Hi, it's Alon Blankstein. I'm from Israel, Modi'in. If nobody knows where that is, it's between the holiest city in the world, which is Jerusalem, and the sinful city in the world, which is Tel Aviv, which is also known as the largest innovation hub outside of the United States. I'm the managing partner of Partners 500, which is a business accelerator. We've spun out of Partners 500 in the past an incubator called Mayan Ventures, who went public later on. And in my personal portfolio as an angel includes several companies, including Early Sense, Fomex, and so on. Pleasure being on board.
Thank you and welcome. Yes, please. Who would like to be the next one?
I can go next. We can stay in Israel. It's near. Okay.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay. So good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Nir Manor. I'm from Israel. I'm a serial entrepreneur turned to angel investor. I've been in the business of retail technology and B2C, B2B2C for the last 25 years. My last company was sold to Nielsen and was about in-store analytics. For the last 6 years, I'm an angel investor and advisor mainly to retail technology and B2C startups in the verticals of retail tech and in digital health, things related to longevity and new biohacking. So this is my area of interest and expertise, and I'm excited to see if there is anything interesting today about these topics.
Thank you, Nir. Welcome. Great to have you with us today. And who would like to be the next one?
Me. So we'll stay in Israel. So I'm the third for now. I'm not sure if I'm the last one. Dudi Klein from Tel Aviv, Israel. I'm co-founder and managing partner of the Alive Health Tech Fund. We are a fund, mid to late stage fund that focused on medical devices and digital health companies on their latest stages. So usually we support, we lead or co-lead rounds of an average of $30 million, where we invest something in between 5 to 15. at companies that are relatively mature, that have a significant evidence and product, in some cases even product in the market, and looking at time to exit of 3 to 5 years.
Thank you, Judy. Welcome. And next one, please. Yongama? Hello? Anybody else, guys?
I've already gone. I went just before Pretty.
Okay.
I could go. That's okay.
I see that our colleague at least.
Yeah.
Let's move on, please. Lena, can we move on, please?
Yeah. So, guys, thank you for your great introductions. And before we will start the hottest part of our event today, let me explain you how we will vote today. So, dear judges, to start voting, you have just to click the link you have got on mail, and you will be redirected to the event page. You have to scroll the page to the startup section, and you will see the logos and marks beneath. You have to put marks depending on investment potential from 1 to 5, where 5 is the highest mark and 1 is the lowest. Pay attention that you have just to put marks without any confirmation buttons. Also, you could change the marks before the voting will be closed. If you need some help, please let us know in chat. Our support team can advise you. And that's all from my side. And Kate, I think we can start our hottest part.
Yeah, I just add how are we going to move on. Now each founder will have 3 minutes for pitch and 3 minutes for Q&A. We advise not to mention any fundraising out loud because we are broadcasting live all over the world and some countries may have restrictions in this regard. At the end of the event, we will know the winner of today's battle. It will be one startup who will join our startup board on July 15 at the Unicorn Cup finals. So let's not waste time. Please meet our first startup, Ahat Information Technology. Rohan, today you are lucky to open our pitch session.
Thank you. So I'm just my colleague Munib, who is the CEO. He will develop the presentation. So I'm just getting in touch.
Okay.
He's on there.
Why?
If you can please state the geography which you're operating in, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you, everyone. Let me know if I can begin. The geography in terms of which Tariq asked, we are based and headquartered in UAE. So this is where we are actually beginning our focus with.
Thank you. So your 3 minutes start now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Munib. I'm the CEO and founder of Ahat. We truly believe in helping address the cyber pandemic as we are helping organizations, especially B2B, on how to prevent the next cyber attacks, because we truly believe it's not if, it's when you are hacked. It is, by the way, a more than $1 billion worth problem that we are solving. And the stat speaks in UAE government alone faced more than 1.4 million cyber attacks. The people who are responsible for addressing these challenges are the CISOs, the Chief Information Security Officers, who are our primary audience. And we help making their life simpler by ensuring how to simplify the cybersecurity buying, as well as provide actionable intelligence and the visibility into entire cybersecurity program. Besides, we are also loved and adored by the business because we are keeping them in mind as well by offering deferred payments, as well as options for them to be able to utilize installments on high ticket deals, which otherwise would be impossible. Looking at, by the way, this is a quick video on and a demo of the marketplace, which is easily accessible to anybody. This was designed with a lot of feedback from end customers, decision makers, and the categories are people, process, technologies for people to be able to seamlessly procure and buy directly. In terms of market size, UAE alone in terms of cybersecurity is a mammoth $425 million. Whereas, by the way, the nature of the marketplace being an e-commerce platform, we can easily serve globally as well. The marketplace actually is hosting our own proprietary offering, which are designed and built and offered directly by Ahad, as well as we have the best of breed global technologies and vendors. We are making almost 20% margins on our direct offering and a 15% when we are selling solutions from the global vendors. We already have 5 vendors or 5 end customers who are already clocking revenue with us, generating 21,000 euros of revenue. Plus, we already have a qualified pipeline of 44 projects, more than 4.8 million. Looking at the roadmap, we actually are aiming to be a mammoth and a giant in this space, growing to about 5 million euro by 2024 within the next 4 years. And most importantly, eventually we would want to add more machine learning, artificial intelligence capability. So far, the industry has welcomed us open-handedly. We actually have won several accolades, and we can also go through in detail once we have the time. And most importantly, the team, we already have worked with 4 different startups, all of us, my co-founders included. And this is where we actually bring a plethora of experience and expertise, and especially the organization and the culture of Ahad is such that everybody in Ahad actually carries number. Most importantly, when we are looking to conclude, the idea here really is how we can serve as cyber experts and address the cyber challenges which are faced by the cyber decision makers. That's about it.
Thank you, Munir. Thanks for being on time, 2 minutes exactly. Great speech.
Thank you so much.
So let's start our Q&A session, guys. And any questions from your side?
Hey, hi, this is Anil. Good presentation and much needed solution. So one question: is it a product do it yourself, or it needs some services component?
So our own offering would be directly made to handle all the challenges a customer would face. Whereas anything which is personalized, there will be a journey where we need to guide customer towards what needs replacement, or primarily helping them choose the best of breed technology addressing the challenge they may have. So it could be a combination, ready to use, as well as anything that can be tailor-made based on the challenge they are trying to address.
So it's all developed in-house, or you integrate several other service providers, often?
So majority of things we are focusing on is building our own. This actually creates a defendable product and solution offering. So nobody can easily compete with us, and especially at the price point we are offering at. Because frankly speaking, when we're talking about incident response, there are global vendors offering that, but frankly speaking, none of the organizations can easily afford them. So this is where there is a huge potential in the market, which is left out, which we are tapping into.
And any minimum number of people you need to have an organization before you approach them?
Ideally, we are even addressing SMBs as well. So even it could even include startups, because many times cybersecurity actually is an afterthought for startups. Whereas, frankly speaking, we are aggressively attending to those because they are still immature and they may or may not have the capability on how to build a solid product and a secure product.
Okay, thank you.
Marsh, any questions else?
Yeah, so my
Yes,
so my question is that, see, typically large enterprises, would be using big consultants to advise them in this space, because it's a very critical area. So, do you have any partnerships with any of the consulting firms, to collaborate with you?
Okay, indeed. By the way, I've been part of one of the biggest consulting firm, which is actually a $2.3 billion mammoth in industry. It's called TUV Ryland. By the way, our CISO and CTO, who is Ankit Satsangi, he himself have been managing a portfolio worth 45 billion dirhams of property portfolio in the region as well. So we have our own expertise, as well as we are ensuring, obviously, one of the reasons to reach out to the investors is how we can expand our own capabilities. We do need, we obviously have a roadmap of what to build and what to acquire in terms of even enhancing it further.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
I have a question, please.
Sure.
Yes, hi, this is very interesting. Thank you very much for your presentation. I just noticed that you are focusing on Dubai. Your customers are in Dubai. I didn't notice any name from Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
This is one. Number two, let me finish, please. Number two, where you stand in regard to the Saudi market. The Saudi market is the largest market in the Middle East. You are providing a very good services, yet putting yourself into Dubai may not help you in the future. So you need to look into a new market. And in reference to the previous question of my colleagues, what type of good connection you have with consultants? As you know, clients rely on professional consultants in defining what type of cybersecurity services they provide. Thank you.
Okay, indeed. So answering your first questions, by the way, we have National Monitoring and Control Center, which is an Abu Dhabi-based company. So that is a government and a public-based entity based in Abu Dhabi. We already have them as a reference in addition to the Dubai-based references. And in the second question you asked about the consultants, by the way, our team of experts already include people who are ex-EY, ex-Deloitte. And as I mentioned, I'm an ex-TUV Ryland myself as well, by the way, which is among, especially the European consultants. They are among the top 5 consultants in the world.
Thank you, Munir, very much. Your time is over.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
By the way, I will, if you don't mind, I will put also my details in the chat in case if anybody would want to reach out to us.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to participate here.
Thanks again.
Next one is Hyperfood Robotics in Israel. Udi?
Yeah.
If you are ready, we can start.
Yeah. Well, hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Udi Shamai, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Hyperfood Robotics. What do we do in Hyperfood Robotics? We design, build, and operate autonomous fast food restaurants in different food verticals and for different food brands. So what do we mean when we say autonomous? We mean 0 employee, 0 labor costs, 100% automation and robotics, no human interference at all. The restaurant is built into a 40-foot container. The reason it's built into a 40-foot container is because we can ship the restaurants from any place to any place. We can also put them in the whatever we want. The only thing they need is to plug into 4 elements: electricity, water, sink, and communication. And ideally, they can be placed in parking lots where there's unlimited access to the restaurant from any direction. We can't control hundreds of stores. We have the system. We can control the system remotely. And we control both the restaurant inside by AI cameras and sensors, but we can also control the outside, the surrounding where the restaurant is. We actually operate the restaurant for our customers. Our biggest promise to our customers is probably the profit, the bottom line, because we double the profit. That means if people, let's say, for instance, in pizza, they would think they were doing 15% EBITDA, they'd be doing 34, 35% EBITDA, and that's the whole story, because they're making a lot more money than they used to. The other thing is that we're bringing a new concept to the world. The new concept is scale up like hell. And the way to do it is that because we have production unit, we can actually ship hundreds of stores. Let's say somebody wants to open a store, open a chain in Germany. We ship to Hamburg. We place the restaurants in designated area, specific designated area, and then this chain would actually be active in 1 day, from 0 to 100 in 1 day. It's good for aggregators. It's good for dark kitchen. It's good for a lot of customers, and that is a big story here. We built one vertical, which is a pizza right now. This it's operational in August. We built it for Pizza Hut, for Yum, and it's going to be placed in Israel. The first one is going to be placed in Israel, where people can order online, and the order can take they can take the order from either from delivery guys, or they can pick it, in spot. So that's where we are.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but time is over. Let's continue on Q&A session. I hope we will stay at the traction points, business model points.
G'day, Jahan Zaib here. Great pitch. Quick question. So obviously the core for any restaurant owner or business is the food that they serve, and it's the taste and the quality and the ingredients and the recipes and all of that, right? Do you have like many configurations of these restaurants based on the type of food, the cuisine, or is it like one standard and fit all kind of a model?
Well, the process is the same. You put a Domino's dough, Domino's toppings, and Domino's sauce, you get a Domino's pizza. You put a Pizza Hut dough and Pizza Hut sauce and Pizza Hut toppings, you get a place. So the process is the same. We can do for any large change, it's the same process. It's minimal changes. Of course, the secret is in the taste. So we put the same ingredients, you get the same product at the end of the line.
It's Amin here. Just wanted to know if there was any regulatory hurdles in terms of food safety and regulations that you'd have to face compared to other restaurants. How do you ensure that?
Well, of course, we have to face a regulation in any country. The regulations are different from one country to the other. We're trying we checked 4 countries in the world that we were aiming at. But I got to say one thing: our system is much more accurate. The quality assurance is top quality assurance. We actually clean with ozone gas and ozone water. That means there's no insect can come into the restaurant. Nothing can come into the restaurant. Also, human can not walk inside. So it's bulletproof in terms of quality assurance.
So is this primarily a takeaway and delivery option, I guess?
Yeah, it does. It does. We aimed it to be a delivery business because we're looking more dark kitchens and sort of delivery business where it's fed at parking lots. But it's not meant to change from the brick and mortar. It's not going to substitute the brick and mortar. It's on top of everything. It's just delivery, and it can do in any concept. We're doing now in December. We show a burger one, and and we're looking now for other like bowl food. And other than that, maybe salads and more. But yeah, carry out is obviously can be as an option.
What's the revenue?
I have a question if I can. I'm assuming that you're not a microwave-based cooking appliance, and I'm assuming you have stoves and maybe even fryers. How do you deal? I want to go back to the regulation part. How do you deal with all the contaminants that come out of it?
Well, first of all, we don't use open fire. We use only electricity. And it's all exactly, the process is exactly as it's done in a regular restaurant. We didn't change a thing there. So what expected to be in a restaurant will be expected to be here.
So typical restaurants would include all kinds of air conditioning capability, of air ventilation and air filtration up to spec. Is that something that you deal with?
Absolutely. We had the most difficult thing we had to deal with was the heat. We have cold storage where there's the buns and the dough, which is frozen, and then there's 4 plastic-free. And then there is the regular. All this restaurant is being refrigerated, and it's different places, a different heat. Obviously, if you go to the ovens, then the heat increases. But we control the whole restaurant, and that was a big thing. You hit a good point here. It was one of the most important thing is how do you manage to control the air inside the restaurant.
Thank you, Udit. Thanks, judges, for great engagement. in this conversation. Let's move on. Next one is Asaf from Matricelf startup, who is promising.
Hi, good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Asaf and I'm the CEO of Matricelf, and we are developing a platform for autologous 3D printing of tissues and organs. I guess you probably don't know it, but every 30 minutes, somebody in the world dies when he's waiting for an organ transplant. And there are millions of patients that are suffering from tissue-related diseases in which a single tissue damage causes a disease that has a huge economic, social, and medical burden. It can be diabetes, where there is a damage to the pancreas, myocardial infarction, and many more. Now, the holy grail or the best solution is tissue engineering. You have a damaged tissue, let's replace it with a new one. And there are many companies in the field of tissue regeneration, but they usually use synthetic materials or allogeneic cells, foreign cells, that usually trigger the immune response and lead to organ rejection. Now envision a day that we will have a technology that will enable us to produce personal tissues and organs, taking a biopsy from the patient and create tissue for him. Try to imagine a technology so advanced, it was used to 3D print the first ever human printed heart. Well, you don't need to imagine anymore, because this is exactly what we do. We print organs and tissues for patients. We already know how to print cardiac patches like you see here. We know how to create dopaminergic implants for Parkinson's disease. We know how to create orbital implants for age-related macular degeneration. But the main focus of our company is spinal cord injury. You can see here Yariv Bash, the co-founder of SpaceIL, who's in a wheelchair. And he said in one of his interviews that humanity succeeded in reaching space, but the 2 centimeters that are missing in his cord, nobody were ever able to complete. And unfortunately, Yariv is not by himself. There are 17,000 new cases only in the US every year, which means an irreversible loss of motor, sensor, and autonomic function, and a very, very high cost of this disease. And we basically do exactly the same. We take a biopsy from the patient, we create a neural implant, and we re-implant it in the patient. And you can see here in the control group that mice that were not treated by our implants were limping and not moving one of their legs. And when we used our implants, all mice regained their walking abilities. So we are currently planning a phase 1/2A clinical trial in humans for spinal cord injuries. We have a great team of researchers and management and a great technology. And with them, we believe that we can regenerate the future of medicine and make disabled people walk again. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Asaf. Hope you really disrupt this industry with health tech.
Thank you.
So, Anil again, have you gone live with your product or you're still in development phase?
We are currently in preclinical trials. We have done some animals, including mice, rats, and pigs. And we just moved today to our new lab. I'm sitting, you're the first presentation from our new lab. And we're currently following FDA guidelines to create our implants to clinical trials.
So congratulations and wish you all luck.
Thank you.
Very interesting, Asaf. In fact, organ printing is something we've already invested in. I'd love to have a chat with you and see. It's also moving to the US, so I'd really love to have a chat with you.
I'll be happy to do it.
Yeah.
We have.
I'll write an email to you.
Hi, we have a human stem cell manufacturing plant in Malaysia that is certified by the Ministry of Health and the CGMP lab facilities. We are using mesenchymal stem cells in most of our treatment and protocols at the moment. We have around 70 patents being filed in for this treatment, and happy to explore certain synergies with you. Thank you.
We are working with iPSCs, induced pluripotent stem cells, slightly different from mesenchymal stem cells. We would love to learn more and work on the collaboration.
Yeah, Alexander Soroka has a question. Yes, please.
Thank you, Lena. And can you tell more, please, about your team and who are the scientists in your team?
Sure. So the technology came out of Tel Aviv University. Professor Tal Dvir is the chief scientist from Tel Aviv University. He has a PhD from Ben Gurion University in Israel and a postdoctoral study for MIT and Harvard at Bob Langer's lab, which is the #1 guy for tissue regeneration in the world. We have scientists that are coming from various tissue engineering companies in Israel that are publicly traded in the NASDAQ. Myself, I'm a physician, I'm a pediatrician. I have another degree in biotechnology engineering. And we have a board with Dr. Eckhard von Kurtz, who was until recently the senior vice president at Bayer Pharmaceuticals, and Theodore Nicholas, Professor Theodore Nicholas, who is a neurosurgeon from Johns Hopkins.
Okay, thank you. And do you know Volumetric startup, which is called Volumetric?
Volumetric?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. Okay. And can you show again the slide with your stage right now, please? Sure. Okay. When do you think the revenue will start?
This is a great question because the clinical trials will be here. But in Israel and many other countries in the world, there is something that is called compassionate treatment, meaning that you can treat patients before you get all the approvals. And we believe that towards the end of 2023, we will be able to offer compassionate treatment to spinal cord injury patients. By the way, we get emails from all over the world, almost on a daily basis, from hospitals and from patients that are asking to join our clinical trial. So we believe we'll have, unfortunately, we'll have enough candidates to be a part of this clinical trial. And as I said, we believe we can start even earlier as a compassionate treatment.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, hi, this is Manoj here.
To you. Do you focus your product on spinal cord, or you can go to different type of treatments because you show different organs?
Sure. So as I said in the beginning, it is a platform. We can take it wherever we can create, opposed to mesenchymal stem cells. We can create any tissue that we want because we work with pluripotent stem cells. We decided to focus on spinal cord injury because regulatory-wise, it is the fastest and simplest way to get to the market because those patients, unfortunately, have no other medical treatment. So the FDA, the EMA, the Ministry of Health in Israel offer you many shortcuts in order to get to the clinical trials, in order to help those patients.
But from perspective of forecast revenue, this is the segment that you are going to go into first, and your expectation are based on this segment, right?
Yes, but next year we start developing developing our pipeline of products, and we're aiming at Parkinson's and myocardial infarction as well.
Thank you, Asaf. Very interesting topic, but we need to follow the schedule.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next one is SaaS B2B platform called Distichain from UAE.
Hi, everybody.
Some noise.
Hopefully you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. So let me just get started. I'm Haysam Jamal, and I'm the CEO of Distichain. And at Distichain, we are offering B2B marketplaces as a service. In terms of global trade is huge, $51 trillion, but the vast majority of global trade is done manually today. It has not been digitized, and this is mainly because of lack of trust, very tedious manual processes, especially on borders, and the lack of engagement of current tools. What we do at Distichain is we deliver a turnkey trade digitization solution, basically delivering white label B2B e-commerce marketplaces in 3 to 6 weeks. We are a B2B2B platform. What that means is basically we are the marketplace provider as a technology. We customize the marketplace, white label marketplaces. We deliver an ecosystem of services, and our system actually governs the trade using our trade engine. Our customers are the owners of the marketplace, and they are the ones that are responsible for the operation and for the sales and marketing of that marketplace. So they're responsible for the traction of these marketplaces. And the users are trading companies that are there to enjoy secure, simple, and empowered trade. We offer a fully digitized trade solution where the traders are able to come onto the marketplace, engage with each other, close deals, and then access world-class service providers in real time. And our trade engine, using the blockchain layer, governs the whole trade and makes sure that everybody delivers their purpose. Our ecosystem of services is very important and ever growing. So we deliver across verification, governance, banking and fintech, and supply chain, a full network of solutions that are able to be offered to the trade in real time. That being said, our user interface is intuitive and cloud-based, so traders can actually log on from anywhere in the world and benefit from simple and secure trade. Our revenue model is a shared revenue model. So we have our core product, which is our starting point. Then it's customized. We can either do the customization, or our customer or our resellers can do the customization. But the main revenue comes from marketplace operation, where we take a small percentage of GMV and some other value-added services. We have a strong customer pipeline to deliver our 10 marketplaces today. 4 are already signed up, with 3 in the pipeline to sign up within days. Our team is diverse. Myself, with 20 years of leadership in consumer goods, retail, distribution. Alberto, our CTO, who has built Noon.com as a CTO and CTO of Reactor, including other people also from Amazon, logistics like Maersk, and other departments. So we've got a world-class team, diverse team that is able to deliver this complex solution. And this is really how we are inventing global trade and trying to impact trading globally.
Thank you. See that we have first question from Anil.
Yes, please, Anil. Your question?
So, who are your typical customer? If you can give some use case.
Sorry, I could not hear you.
I said, can you help with some use case? Who are your typical customer? How does it work?
Absolutely. Let me give you two current marketplaces that are operational. So the first one is from Australia, and they are a co-op of farmers. They actually are based in one of the most abundant farming lands in the world, and have a network of farmers. So what they are doing is they've created a marketplace for the farmers to actually place their goods, the beef, the poultry, the nuts, the legumes, on the marketplace, and sell them to distributors around the world, whether that's in Europe or in Middle East or in Asia. It really doesn't matter. So creating that global network in the agricultural community. Another example, which is our customer based out of Toronto, he operates 10 hotels, but also has a network of around 600 hotels that they've been selling to for the last 20 years. And basically they've created a marketplace so that they can sell not only their goods, but all goods to this network of hotels. So they're monetizing the network of hotels that they've done in a procurement system for all hotels. These are the two current ones, but we also have PPE trading out of Florida, IT components out of Dubai, and a vast and diverse array of marketplaces, which we are able to operate and deliver the service to.
Got it. Thank you.
Hi, Sam. Sounds really exciting. Can you just share with us what are your projections and when do you think you'll start breaking even and making some serious money?
Yeah, so basically we have now done the testing on our first marketplaces, and we are in the current process of deploying 4 marketplaces. We will have these 4 done by the end of this month and 6 by the end of next month. Obviously, once it gets, at that point, we can unload a marketplace in a day. The projections that we have from the marketplaces are very promising. What we expect is that we will have a break-even scenario by mid-2022. Because we're getting a piece of every transaction. It's a very small piece, but it's on a very big market.
What's your go-to-market plan? Like, how do you approach the people who are interested, and how big is the market really? How big is the market for people who are actually trying to create these marketplaces?
So, I mean, we have, so we just spoke to a existing marketplace out of UK who's actually got an existing marketplace, but most of the marketplaces in B2B that are there today are not automated. There's always somebody in the background doing everything or many things in an analog way. So we have found huge traction, people coming up and approaching us. Our go-to-market approach is 3-pronged. Or 3 channels. We will have our own sales and marketing team, and they will be focused on sectors. So the first 2 sectors that we will focus on is agriculture and medical supplies. We see a huge interest there. Then we have a whole bunch of introducers. So I meet somebody and they say, oh, we have a great customer for you, and etc. And we have a finders fee for that. But the way that we have built our system and the main way that we will be going to market is via resellers. And we've already signed up our first reseller in North America. So non-exclusive resellers who are able to go find marketplaces, whether aspiring or existing businesses, bring them on, integrate them, even customize them without us getting involved. We will just give them the infrastructure and be focusing on our core product. So that way we'll be able to scale much, much faster and significantly, and we share the revenue because our cost is very low.
Thank you.
Why would
I'm sorry, we have time only for a quick question from Rico Punk. I see you raised your hand.
Yes. I'd like to know if you have integrated with any digital banks, payment gateways, and will you be looking into fundraising approach using token raise?
So no, we will not be using, so the second question first, no, we will stay traditional because we are tackling a traditional problem with traditional traders, and we don't want to change too many things in their daily lives at one time, although it does make sense. So that's question number 2. Question number 1, in terms of integration, we have built our own digital wallet. The reason why we have built our own digital wallet is because it needs to be good for B2B, and basically it costs nothing and it delivers free escrow. So rather than paying 1%, 2%, which businesses cannot afford to give away that part of their business because their margins are, their volumes are high and their margins are low. But what we are doing now, the next phase is we are bringing on many different fintech providers that can deliver trade finance. So the whole idea is that you come on, you deal with somebody you don't know, you buy $200,000 and you buy it on credit because there are trading platforms and credit platforms behind it, and we are integrating into that. One marketplace would struggle to do that because it's a lot of work and a lot of effort and it's costly and timely. But as an aggregator of marketplaces, we can deliver, we can dream up services in fintech, supply chain, and really offer them in real time.
How different is it from the original Alibaba?
Well, we allow you to create your own Alibaba, and then good luck to you.
They will crush you.
Sorry?
They're doing everything you're doing. Payment, B2B.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They are aggressive. They are globalizing themselves and.
Absolutely, and we will integrate and offer their services like the Trustful services that they've announced and the Anker services as part of the overall service offering. They are not delivering marketplaces. If you want to create your own marketplace, you either build it yourself or you join another marketplace. So basically, I'm talking about when it comes to B2B and exactly what you're talking about in terms of the services. So to have that as an option is what we are offering.
Does it
Just a
make
quick
sense
one.
to actually approach them to form a partnership of some sort? Because they're so much advanced in doing everything you were talking about just now.
Absolutely. I mean, we are in this. We are approaching, and we have had discussions.
How much funds are you raising at this stage?
Not as a, sorry?
Sorry.
How much funds are you raising at this stage?
And the answer for its question, we will listen on chat because we have a strict.
Okay. I'm not allowed to answer that.
I hope to see
Thank you
on Zoom and chat. Thank you very much. Next one is SpeedSize, also from Israel.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
Pleasure to be here. So my name is Sagi from SpeedSize. Let me share my presentation.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Dear judges, do not forget to vote. If you have some questions, ask us on chat. We'll help you.
1 second, I have some technical issue here. 1 moment, sorry.
For voting, you can use your personal link from separate mail received from Lena yesterday. Then you need to scroll down the page a little bit down, and you will see all logos of our startups. You just need to put mark from 1 to 5, where 5 is the highest one. And you do not need to use any confirmation buttons.
Your feedback is very important for our participants today, so vote, please.
Okay, so I'm about to start. Give me a second. Thank you for your patience. Let me share my screen.
Yes, please.
Okay, so thank you. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you
so,
can.
Yeah, so my name is Sagi. I'm from SpeedSize, an Israeli-based company. What we're written here in the big is actually it's a huge innovation in a market that hasn't been changed in the last 30 years or so. We disrupted all the media optimization and delivery market in the world. SpeedSize, as far as we know, it is the most advanced technology for AI optimization of videos and images and smart delivery. We're already working with some enterprise clients like Philip Morris and others. So because we are focusing on retail e-commerce, you know that speed equals sales revenue. This is a very simple formula. And what we can do, it will look to you maybe as a science fiction, but actually this is our innovation. And we're very proud of it. A good example is to show you Apple.com. We work with the Apple iStore in Israel, and everybody knows that Apple has an amazing technology for its media files. What we can do, we can make Apple files or any other e-commerce website in the world today, even big ones like Amazon and others, by 99% smaller file size to tiny file size, 2 to 3 kilobytes sometimes, but we will keep the original lossless visual quality to the human brain. This is psychovisual technology. It was developed by scientists and doctors, not only IT experts. We don't change visual quality of files, but we make media files so much smaller in size and accelerating loading speed, sometimes by 1000%, like you see in Apple example. The best way to showcase the problem and the solution is to show you the biggest player in the market, Akamai. Akamai, it's I think $20 billion company in CDN and delivery media files. And every parameter that we will examine, we will oversee their performance. We just did a very successful POC to Samsung in Korea and Israel. And it's kind of too good to be true, but we make Akamai files by additionally 99% smaller images and videos after they already compress them and provide the best original visual quality, the same it looks on cameras. So no need to compromise on quality anymore to create tiny files, images, and videos. So faster speed for e-commerce is great because it will improve your SEO ranking. It will lower the bounce rate of visitors. It will increase sales, which is the most important thing, especially if you can start providing 4K images, super fast loading, and the use of videos at high scale. Nobody uses today videos at high scale in e-commerce platforms. You use videos mainly on social networks. With us, you can stop using images and use only high quality videos. As I mentioned, this technology was developed by our partner. He built the biggest ad network in Europe with 10 billion monthly impression. And he's not only an expert in IT, big data, and AI, he also is a surgeon and doctor of medicine and a scientist. So we know how human brain perceives visual information. And if you think about it, e-commerce don't sell physical products. E-commerce sell images of their products, and those products are not being rendered on your screen, they're being rendered in your brain as a customer. So if we know how to perceive visual quality and the file size is so much smaller, why don't do so? So the market is huge. It's a multi-trillion-dollar market in e-commerce, as you can see here. That's keeping growing, and this is from demand side. And for supply side, CDN market is very, very big, multi-billion-dollar market that we plan to compete and win great enterprise deals. We're already starting sales, and we're aiming to reach 500K ARR very, very soon. Thank you, and happy to answer any question that you might have.
Thanks.
It's a wonderful technology. So 2 questions from me. It seems to be, very apt for content-driven, website. So why you're focusing on e-commerce and not, content-driven like Netflix, others?
Can you repeat the end of the question?
I said, why you're focusing on, e-commerce and not on, content-driven, businesses like Netflix, and what's your revenue model? How do you charge and how does your technology work?
Okay, so we chose e-commerce because it's the easiest industry to measure impact on revenue. It's like we have a very unique integration. This is a 1-minute integration, just like plug and play, same way integrate Google Analytics or Facebook Pixel. So to test our technology is very, very fast and easy. And this is why we chose e-commerce. Of course, there are many implementations of this. Netflix, we mean to compress long feature films in the future also, because when Netflix just delivers 60% of all the internet traffic, which is a lot. Imagine if we can reduce it by 50% or 90%, this is worth billions. But e-commerce, again, it's a huge market, multi-trillion-dollar market, very easy to do POC and close deals.
Alexander, your question, please.
What is your monthly revenue today?
So we have about 40K MRR, and this keep on growing. Like next day or 2 days that we'll speak, it will grow. So we plan to, by the end of this year, overpass 1 million ARR.
Thank you.
Manoj has a question.
Yeah, hi. So I have a quick question. Have you done any kind of beta testing with any of the big players in the media space, like content delivery players like Netflix or any of the players in the world?
So we did a POC for YouTube, and we make YouTube files dramatically smaller, like 90% smaller, in better quality. And again, but we are focusing mainly on short videos that are supposed to autoplay on the website, let's say up to 30 seconds videos, and of course images, which is the most common used. We're not yet aiming to Netflix of the world, but we will in the future.
What about competition?
What is the business model?
So our competition, I will answer near in a second. Our competition is companies like Akamai, Cloudonary, and other. We have a huge advantage. We are not a CDN provider. We are a CDN enabler. So currently we're working with AWS, which we're granted as the accelerator also. So we provide CloudFront, but we can be integrated in 1 minute to any CDN and just to boost the performance. Our revenue model is based on 2 factors. The amount of images we need to AI compress or videos on a yearly basis or a multi-yearly basis. Usually we do multi-contract, like a couple of years of contracts, and the amount of images we're going to deliver. So it's a CDN model with AI compression.
Burak, your question, please.
What is the reaction of Google bots and then the Google as a company? Because this will be a problem for Google SEO algorithm at the end.
Actually, we're speaking with Google in Israel, and they're like advocating our solution to their clients because they're super excited. Google changes their algorithm in May for SEO. So everybody try to fight loading speed, and this is where we shine. We are agnostic to Google bots because we don't change nothing on the website. We have a 1-minute integration. It's a JavaScript service worker technology. It's like a layer above on the website for each individual user. So we don't change the website whatsoever. If Amazon or Akamai fails, the users will still see the original image. We deliver a custom images and videos in the right format in 50 different resolutions, like 8K resolutions to iPhones, not the small resolutions like mobile desktop. We do 50 resolutions, all media formats, including AVIF and AV1, which we are the only company in the world that provide it commercially, because we do our magic before we put it inside the container of the format. We work with all the formats on the internet because we want all the browsers to support us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. See many raised hands, but we need to move on. I'm sorry, dear judges.
I will put my email in chat and happy to continue our discussion.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Let's continue in chat.
Thank you so much.
Hope you will not be offended by me. But the next one is Headway AI, smart talent platform powered by AI and behavioral science. Hi, Linda.
Do you hear us?
Check your microphone, maybe you are muted. It's our pleasure to meet female founder today.
Linda, do you hear us?
Oh, you were muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for this opportunity to introduce Headway.ai to this amazing audience. Hi, everyone. I'm Linda, co-founder of Headway.ai. We are a smart talent platform blending AI and behavioral science to power enterprises' talent acquisition, talent management, and talent development with smart bots and analytics to deliver big bang talent outcomes. So you may just ask, what's so new about it? Well, today, if you look around, you will find that all enterprises get more than thousands of job applications every day. And no matter how big their HR team is, it is a daunting task to connect with every candidate, find the best fits from that entire pool, and deliver a fair candidate experience, complete your selection process, and onboard them. The pain is no less acute for employees in the companies. Torn between the HR legacy systems like SAP SuccessFactors, Workday, Oracle, and the kinds that we know of, and the slivered point solutions. This sizable $38.6 billion market is sitting pretty with this huge gap. The crying need for a simplified HR solution that is intelligent, social, consumer grade, and outcome focused. And that's the gap we, the girl gang at Headway.ai, address with a refreshing new age talent platform that uses AI bots, behavioral science to do matchmaking in terms of people to teams, to jobs, to mentors, to communities, democratizing their choices, delivering purposeful outcomes, and also keeping our clients talent ready. We are domain agnostic. We are currently working with a bunch of large global companies across different domains and geographies. We are also part of some of the coolest accelerators like the Lowe's Innovations Lab and Microsoft startups. For these bunch of customers, we re-energize their staffing processes with the much required talent intelligence, deep personalization, and vibrant experiences, just so that they yield quick results. Imagine if smart bots helped you source from the open web in a super targeted way, render pre-qualified right fit candidates to your application so that you can do your selection process and onboard them quickly, develop new talent pools in the market and also internally with our upskill modelers, and also render some cool analytics on tap. Well, that would make hiring and talent management processes much more fun and easy, isn't it? Well, you don't need to imagine all this anymore because you can experience this on Headway.ai. Take a look. We are open for questions.
Yes, please, dear judges.
Yeah, just a quick one. Is this technology still being developed, or do you have something which is working already? And if you have something which is working, how do you prove that your algorithm is better than anybody else's algorithm or other solutions out there?
Linda, do you hear us?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, great. Hey, so we've already launched this, and this is live with a bunch of customers, like I mentioned. So we work with different customers across different segments, pharma, technology, retail. And what we've really done is blended AI into this entire piece. And the way that we do our matching, the personalization, and also the matches are pretty much done using our AI recommendation engine. And the differentiator is the way we've really prepped that engine is using high personalization in terms of when you are matching a particular, say, a resume to that of a particular job. In that case, there is a very strong parser that really parses to find skill proficiencies of that person and not keywords, like most of the systems that all of us have used have primarily been skill based, and that particular thing doesn't the keyword based systems don't really help us because so the systems which are keyword based are not very helpful, primarily because I'm looking for, say, a Java developer at that particular time. It would also throw at me resumes of recruiters primarily who have hired IT professionals and Java developers, because the keywords really are there pretty much in both these particular CVs. But since we do this particular complete skill, we look at the skill. And skill proficiency is just the way that all recruiters really look at it. So that's how we would mimic a pro recruiter's mind, and that's the differentiator on our machine when it comes to those particular matches that we really do. And that's how it's different, and it's more powerful and more effective, renders more outcome.
Thank you. Thomas, your question, please.
Yeah, so this is a high, and I have a lot of expertise in this space. I do a lot of work here. It's a highly crowded market. So two questions. One is, who do you see as your as the main competitors, and secondly, which is the core market that you wish to focus on?
Sure. So when you look at the particular competitors, in the large enterprise space, primarily, like I mentioned, we have these two different players that we really work around. Large companies, there are SAP, SuccessFactors, and Oracles, and Workdays of the world, that are basically offering workflows. And as we all know, those are very clunky, and we've been using those systems all our lives. They've been hand-me-down products. And that's the problem, because these came as products from SEM or from a finance kind of a module, was just morphed into for HR. So it's not really highly personalized for the kind of problems that we really face in HR, and that's the reason they are not very effective. They're very clunky, and most of the time people just use it in terms of compliance. And they are not very effective in terms of really finding, the right talent within those particular systems. That's where Headway really comes in handy, because what we really do is we bring that intelligence onto the platform. So we are just not smart workflows, but baked with the intelligence of our recommendation engine. And we've also baked a bunch of smart AI bots that really remove the drudge of the user, and they just help the users have a great experience. And that's been the focus of our product. So that's how we really kind of manage it. Your second question was in terms of markets. We are currently in the Asian market. We have client large companies which have taken us to Europe, and also we are in the Southeast Asian market. The other markets that we are now this year venturing into are the UAE market and also the US market. So those are the two markets that we are focused on.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you. Let's move on. As you may notice, we have missed our precious startup from South Africa, Les. I hope you will not be offended by me. The stage is yours.
No worries, Kate. I'm Les Foster from South Africa. I'm the CEO of Anker Pay, and we focus on bridging the gap between traditional finance and the crypto sphere, especially with focus on Africa and South America and the unbanked. Let me share our presentation. Currently, the main issue is that people around the world, especially in the third world, like in Africa, do not have the means to actually access the banking system as we know it. These are due to a number of reasons. One of them being that there is just not enough infrastructure in Africa and South America, incredibly high fees, and then depreciating currencies, and also a lack of transparency from certain governments. We believe that a lot of these issues can be solved by our end-to-end API that is really the bridge between fiat and crypto, the crypto sphere. Other good news that came out recently that deserves an honorable mention is that the South African Reserve Bank, for example, recently said that by the end of next year, the South African Rand will be digitized, and that will also be able to plug into our system. We have two products that I'll talk about. The first one I'll just mention briefly. That is the ATM API. Currently, we are talking to El Salvadorian banks at an intermediate level to integrate the API into their ATMs, which will include roughly 350 ATMs in El Salvador, which means that someone can actually sell their Bitcoin at the ATM and receive dollars from the ATM while the settlement gets done in dollars. So it takes the exchange rate immediately at that point in time, and we settle with the bank. One thing that I'd like to mention is that this is a new product. It's the point of sale API. Again, we do not run around selling hardware devices. We have the API endpoint integration for the point of sale providers, which means traditional point of sale providers and systems can easily integrate our API for the use on their current structures. So currently we're integrating into 3,200, it says there 2,800, but 3,200 retail stores in South Africa, with more to follow in Zambia and Botswana. We're also looking at South America and Australia as well. Just to give an idea, these integrations are retail stores of really big scale and includes Food Lovers Market, which is like the Whole Foods, Macro, which is owned by Walmart, Ultra Liquors. I don't know how to compare that, but it's quite big. It's very simple. The user walks up, they scan the QR code, and they send the amount. It prints out a receipt, and the settlement is done in the local currency. That means for the merchant, there is no risk of fluctuation. It's end to end. It's just an extra means to accept money at their point. Someone walks into the Walmart-owned subsidiary Macro, they want to buy a TV of $2,000. They pay in any number of cryptocurrencies that we want to add, including the South African Rand, and the settlement gets done into the merchant's bank account, alleviating all the risk. I assume my time is up, Kate?
Let's switch to the Q&A.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yeah, judges. Manoj, I see your raised hand.
No, I just want to understand how popular is cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin in some of these African markets. I mean, it's good to have these, but you think there'll be real usage?
Thank you very much for that question. Cryptocurrency adoption is leading its way in Africa and South America, with Nigeria being at the very top, and South Africa being around fourth in the world. I think there are two South American countries in between. I can't remember the exact order of those. Currently, the estimates range between 8% and 17% of South Africans have some form of crypto. And in Nigeria, the number is even higher. And that's on the pessimistic side, really. So it means millions of users and billions of dollars in wallets around Africa. And that's very easy to understand. I mean, in places like Zimbabwe, cryptocurrency is already the de facto currency and the currency of choice for the people living there. Obviously, our integration doesn't just focus on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. It also focuses on the Reserve Bank sanctioned cryptocurrencies that are coming out in a lot of places around the world.
Thank you.
Sergey?
Sergey, your question?
Yes, hi. Why did you choose Bitcoin, and how do you deal with the latency of the blocks? So how long does it take to actually to settle the transaction? And do you look at any other currency which can speed it up? And maybe just to follow up the question, how do you see the competition from normal crypto, Visa and MasterCard?
Thank you, Sergey. We didn't choose Bitcoin only. Bitcoin is just the most adopted currently in Africa. We have currently integrated Dash, Nano, Litecoin, and Bitcoin, with a few others to follow. And in fact, we are in talks with some of these large mega stores for small payments cross-border, which would mean that they would have their own token, which we will create, for example. And instead of taking cash, putting it on a bus and sending it to your grandma in Zimbabwe, you can send her the token and she can spend it in store.
Thank you. Last question from Basim.
Yeah, I was just wondering how scalable would this be to other neighboring markets, and why did you? I mean, I know South Africa is your home market, but would there be other places that you would launch this at a faster pace, more successfully, maybe?
Hi, Bassem. Thank you very much for that question. I think it's a good one. First of all, the Southern African countries are very easy to integrate with the current banking infrastructure. So that's the neighboring countries of South Africa. We also want to expand into Tanzania. We don't have, currently it's easy for us to expand into Zambia, Botswana, and Tanzania. We're looking for partners in Nigeria at the moment, and then in El Salvador, we're also expanding. There's no reason for us with our one of our integration partners to not expand into Dubai and Australia, because they already have 500 stores there and the implementation has already been done with testing underway.
Thank you, Les, for a great speech.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Let's continue, Kate.
Next one is Placense.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me today. Let me share my screen. So hello, everyone. My name is Dan Gildoni, and I'm co-founder and CEO at Placense. I'm a serial entrepreneur coming from a background of what I consider the online worlds. The one interesting thing about the online world is our ability to understand at every given moment what the users are doing and adapt accordingly. At Placense, for the first time ever, we're bringing these methodologies to the physical world. Now, when I say physical world, I'm referring to any type of entity which is relying on physical foot traffic. So think about supermarkets, commercial areas, cities, banks, stadiums, a variety of different segments that up to now we're making most of the decisions based on gut feelings. How do you know you should do what you do? Because I do. And on people like this that would stand on a street corner, count the people, and ask them questions. At Placense, that's exactly what we're changing. We're bringing data from that sensor that all of us have in our pockets, the smartphone. We get full consent from our users, and we found a way how to make it an airtight solution on the privacy side, allowing us to bring very granular information from apps that you already have installed on your phones. In Germany, for example, we're already connected with 35 million devices. Now, one of the reasons we started in Germany, of course, is because we found a cure for the privacy with a patent pending algorithm that we've created that knows how to completely sterilize the data and allow you to look at any location out there without jeopardizing data privacy in any way whatsoever. If we're looking, for example, at this demonstration, we're looking at a mall located outside of Berlin. We're able to look at this mall to compare it with another location about 15 kilometers away. And we can make these comparisons with an infinite amount of locations, allowing you to look not just at your locations or your cities, but at any locations out there. Then we start understanding and analyzing, understanding where people come from. What is their journey? Where do they live? Where do they work? What is the point of interest that they visited before and after? Where they're going, and understanding more metrics that up to now are available in the online world, such as retention, duration, languages, purchasing power, purchasing preferences, and many more. We're currently working with some of the largest real estate, retail companies, and consultancy firms in Europe, nominated to be the index for out-of-home advertising, outdoor advertising in Germany, meaning that any kind of decision on outdoor advertising in Germany is made with our data. I'm presenting this because this is an important seal of approval for the accuracy and granularity we can bring. A variety of different more use cases that are all relevant to the ability and understanding who people are, where people come from, and based on that, making the right decisions. With a team of serial entrepreneurs, I'd be happy to have you join our journey and share more. Thank you very much for your time. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you for great speech. So, Alan, do you have a question? Alan, yes, please, your question.
I had to unmute. You mentioned that you have 35 million points of access in Germany. Is it a mobile app? And if it's so, is it your mobile app?
No, we're connected to brand
agnostic. Someone else's data.
We are partnering up with brand agnostic apps, such as weather apps, etc. Apps have been monetizing on data for years, and what has dramatically changed is definitely GDPR, which made it very, very hard for them. because we do not need to understand who the people are, and we found a way around it, we're actually creating a win-win situation, being able to come back to the app developers, offering them to monetize on their data without jeopardizing their business in any way whatsoever.
Any other questions, guys?
Are you cash flow positive?
We're not cash flow positive. We have investments from interesting investors such as Pi Labs in London, FEV by E.ON, the largest energy company in Europe, Zero Gravity Capital, and more. We're already showing revenue. In Q1 2021, we've already exceeded our revenues in the previous year, hoping to finish the year with over 1 million ARR.
What kind of EBITDA margin you are forecasting?
So our main, I guess, costs could potentially be the sales, the data. And overall, if we will treat data and decide to call it COGS, it's around 6% of, I mean, the COGS are still at around 6%.
So you don't have a forecast of the potential margin you're going to have on the business?
I do. I'll be happy to share with you more details on the financials later on a private call.
More investors would like to know, the path to profitability, as it's called.
Okay.
When, how, and how much?
Thank you. Johan Zahib?
Yeah, just a quick question. So you said that the apps have been monetizing data for a long time, and then obviously the GDPR changed it all. What sort of risks do you see in your business model that maybe one fine day you see that another regulation has come in, and then you can't monetize that data or can buy data from these apps anymore? So do you see any of those risks coming in the future?
So it's a good question, and because I mean there are risks, I can't say that there are none. But overall, because we do not need to track constantly people in the background, and we found a way with our algorithms to make a good understanding of the mobility patterns of the users just by looking at foreground data. There still will always need to be a usage of GPS. For example, in a weather app in Europe, when you're asking to get a weather signal, you want to get a very good understanding of where you are. So we don't really see risks on the data collection, although we're finding ways to create a diverse panel, which will include also in the future bringing first-party information. And of course, the main and most important thing is to get consent. And up to now, we see that we have 100% consent from all of the users that we're actually bringing data from, excuse me.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So let's continue, Kate.
Next one is Pairzon AI. Eduardo.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm the last one?
No.
No.
Okay. Okay. So let me share my presentation. Thank you, everyone. I'm Eduardo Boroche. I'm running the sales and business development at Pairzon AI, and we are Israeli-based company, and we are fostering the retail data revolution. Despite the rapid rise in the e-commerce fostered by a very strong digital transformation in the past year because of the pandemic, we've seen before, and what we've seen in reports coming from US, from Israel, and for other countries that are after post-COVID, that 86% of the total retail sales still take place in the physical stores. And yet, the consumer in-store transactional data remains disconnected. And the use case is very simple. I'm going to a retailer, which can be a fashion retailer, cosmetics and beauty retailer, or electronics. I buy something, I buy a product, and 2 days later, a week later, a month later, I'm getting to the e-commerce site, and I'm getting the same product with half of the price, or I'm being wrongly targeted by the same product that I already acquired. Why is that? Because there is a huge disconnect between all the data, that in-store data, and what is being made available for marketeers. And therefore, we are all tired of irrelevant, inaccurate online recommendations or advertisements being provided by us. And with Pairzon, when we are linking the in-store data with the online marketeers, we are able to deliver increasing revenues in no time, increasing conversion, increasing engagement, and transform anonymous customers in loyal customers, and several other use cases. And then as some of the major retailers are saying today, the journey from the physical stores to omnichannel is not an option anymore. It's mandatory. So retailers, they must know what I'm doing in the physical store now, and they should be able to translate this to all the online ecosystem. More than that, with the ban of third-party data fostered by Apple and soon by Facebook and by Google, retailers, they must be able to use their own first-party data to target their own customers and measure the return on the investment online. And that's exactly what Pairzon is enabling. Pairzon is enabling the use of the offline and online data together with advanced algorithms of machine learning and AI in order to enable retailers to communicate with their customers, to engage with their customers in the right manner. We are working a wide range of sectors, from apparel and fashions to automotive, to sports and goods, to furniture, to consumers electronics. And the second stage of our go-to-market strategy is to approach brands and CPGs and to enable them a direct-to-consumer strategy, how to see what their customers are doing in the different types of retailers. The addressable market for what we are doing, we've been talking about artificial intelligence for marketing. The addressable market of the sector that we believe is about $50 billion. And the companies that are trying to get into this market, marketing automation solutions, CDP providers, at the end of the day, in order to create an end-to-end solution, all these service providers, they must be able to map this 86% of in-store transactional data in real time and make it available to other parts of the company. This is the real meaning of omnichannel. Our business model, for retailers, we are charging a fixed MRR based on number of stores. And for brands and CPGs, we are going to, together with retailers, we are going to approach them and enable revenue share model.
Thank you. Time is over.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eduardo. Any feedback from our judges? Manoj?
Yeah, hi. You seem to have a good customer base. I think that was your last slide, which I just took a glance. So can you talk a bit about your revenues and markets, where you're present, where your customers are?
Yeah, so we are quite a young company. We started in Israel in February 2020, just before the pandemic. And despite that, we ended the year, the first year of operations, with no investment, with 15 customers and the ARR of $150,000. Today, where we are, we have already 25 customers, and we are expecting an ARR of $700,000. And the objective really for the next 5 years is to reach European, Asian, and American markets. And we are expecting revenues, according to our business plan, to reach between $50 to $6 million the next few years.
Thanks. Very competitive space, but wish you good luck. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, guys?
Bassem, I think, had a question.
Yeah, sorry, can you reflect again on when your break-even point is expected? And in comparison to competition, there are some very large players around that are around. Can you just shed some light on that, please?
Yeah, you are right. There are a lot of competition and lots of people claiming that they do offline to online. Lots of people claiming that they do AI to marketing. At the end of the day, we haven't seen any players yet delivering in-store data in real time to marketeers and measure the return on investment in store. We haven't seen them, to be honest. We haven't recruited any money yet. So we are starting now the first round of investment, and we are expecting to break even in year 3.
Thanks. So if nobody has...
What are the integrations that you need in order to get your data?
So when we start to work with a retailer, the most important integration points, it's obviously the point of sale and the loyalty program. And one of the challenges of retailers is how you make anonymous customers become loyal and increase the adoption of loyalty program. So in addition to the in-store platforms, point of sale, loyalty program, we can be beaming platforms. We are also integrating with CRM, with e-commerce, and we are basically creating a unified customer profile that can really deliver the value of a physical store to omnichannel.
And you are looking at SMBs, or you look at large retail?
In one hand, we look for large retail chains. Today, we have already 2 million people using our platforms, and the more physical stores that the retail chain they have, the more value we can see in no time. Having said that, we are starting some work with some credit card companies in order to attract the SMB market. And this is the main challenge of, if we look at American and European small business, they don't have access to marketing tools in order to target their customers. So this is a work that we are doing with credit card companies.
Last question from Anil. Yes, please, Anil.
Hey, can you elaborate more on your revenue model?
Yes. So when we approach a retailer, we are a B2B SaaS tool that is used for marketeers within retailers in order to create audience, create campaigns, and measure the return on the investment in real time in store. So what we are enabling retailers, it's the use of the tool based on the number of stores that they have, unlimited usage per month. This is for retailers. The second stage of our go-to-market when we approach brand and CPGs, and this is where we see the big jump on the monetization, is together with supermarkets and together with department stores, approach brands and CPGs and enable them to create audience, create campaigns, and measure the return of their customers in different channels.
Thank you, Eduardo.
Thank you.
Hope all of you are not tired yet, because we have the last but not least startup for today. Thank you. Called VenueX, represented by Corsat. Check your micro, maybe you are muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
you can hear me right?
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Hi, this is Kürşat. I'm a serial entrepreneur with 15 years of experience in prop tech and retail tech, and the co-founder of the VenueX. So today, what we see is in-store product availability is most of the time invisible online. So that causes brick and mortars lose their customers to e-commerce. So here's Matt. He's trying to find a product, a gift for his wife, but he doesn't know where to find that. However, there is still opportunities for the brick and mortars. So we see that 90% of shoppers use online before visiting in store. 68 of them would like to confirm if the product is available before visiting. And we have seen that available near me searches has grown double last year. So our solution proposal is we offer a omnichannel platform that helps brick and mortars to take control of their data across multiple existing channels. So what we do, we collect offline data and process it through our platform and transfer it to existing channels like Google, Apple, and Maps and search engines, and help you understand how customers are interacting with your brand from online to offline. So this solution makes the businesses be visible on a variety of surfaces that helps you find online, help visitors find their way, improves the satisfaction, boost in-store sales because you are bringing nearby shoppers in store and help you understand what shoppers want. So this technology attracts nearby shoppers, as I said, in store when they search online. Remember, Matt, actually today is our anniversary with my wife. So I was trying to find a gift for my wife. And when I searched online, I see that this product is available in stock in a nearby clothes store. So then I checked the store details and the product details, and we were on the map and get direction, and finally visit the store, make purchases. In fact, according to Google, can I buy nearby searches has grown 6 times in last year. With that's, I believe, because of the pandemic. So our revenue model is B2B software as a service, both to retailers and the landlords. And we have competitors, but our differentiation is we offer an all-in-one solution, which brings all the different elements of brick and mortar into one channel. That's our differentiation. And our team is a passionate, I believe, experts in prop tech, retail tech, and growth, me and my team. And we have proven our success with our existing customers, multinational brands, landlords, and tech giants. And we are on a mission to digitalize the brick and mortar in a world where shopping grows every day online. And thank you very much. I am here and I am happy to answer if you have any questions ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alexander Soroka.
Can you tell about your traction, please?
So we just started. You can see the screen, right? Still.
No, I stopped.
Okay, no worries. So we just started a couple of months ago, and we started with 4,000K monthly MRR right now, but it's growing a lot, and we hope to get 1 million ARR by the end of 2022 and break even at the Q3 of 2023. But at the moment, it is about the 45K per month.
It's your revenue, yep.
Yeah, that's our revenue at the moment. We just started a couple of months ago, and you know, we are at that early stage.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Bassem, your question, please.
Yeah, that's a great product or service. I've actually tried. I was hoping something would be around during pandemic to look for closer things. But what is your customer acquisition cost for something like this, please?
Actually, it was in front of me right now, and let me go and see my numbers, see my metrics. Our customer acquisition cost is about 400K per client, and at the moment, and we believe it's going to be lower and lower as we grow and as we expand in other geographies and other regions as well.
Okay, so how would you attract? What's your number one method to attract customers?
Good question. You know, there are landlords who are suffering the most. The landlords, the mall owners, the property managers are suffering a lot because if the customer is not visiting the stores and then the stores are not paid.
Domain, so.
Sorry?
Keep going.
Okay, our strategy, we now go with the landlords because landlords, they are suffering most from the rental income. They, you know, they lost almost half of their rental income last year. So they are helping us to go their tenants. For example, with JLL Turkey, we are now kicking off we are creating a referral scheme to offer their landlords and tenants. It is about 45 shopping centers and more than 3,000 stores. So we first go with the landlords because they want their tenants to be digitally engaged to, you know, be happy and pay the rent. And then we go with the Google and Apple. Google and Apple unofficially of suggesting our solution to their clients. For example, De facto, who has more than 300 stores, they are suggested by Google. Google just said, go ahead, do their job, and now Google is paying for the first initial part of it. So two-channel, the landlords and digital platforms like Google, Apple, hopefully in the future, Facebook or Yandex in the region as well.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, I think we can finish our pitch session. Thank you very much for closing.
Thank you very much.
That was all?
Yeah. No.
Wonderful. What an interesting startups we had today. And judges have a great deal of deciding who is who. Dear guys, you have exactly 2 minutes to finish your voting. You can change your votes if you change your mind. Please evaluate startup investment potential from 1 to 5, as you know, and in minute and 40 seconds, we will be closing the votes and announcing the results a little bit later. And while you're doing that, those judges that did good, and I see many of you already did finish voting, please pay attention to our poll. Can I have a poll published? We are doing our little surveys all over the world. You can go to our LinkedIn page and see what we have discovered. So some discoveries are really interesting. And right now we want to dig into your portfolio to decide what is your strategy. Please help us. We will discuss how different investment strategies lead to different results all over the world. So please pick the answers that are relevant to you. You can pick as many as you wish. And push submit. And we will talk about it during our networking session. Okay, we have a little bit time to finish voting. And 10, 9, 7, 6, 4. Oh, I missed 5. 5, 4. 3, 2, 1, and the votes are closed. Okay, votes are closed already, and let's talk to our official judges who were supposed to be the most critical one and the most strict one. Let's start with our Alexander. Alexander, you had seen startups all over the world. Did these startups surprise you today?
Yes, some really surprised me.
Okay, wonderful. And if you were given the first place, what startup would have gotten it from you?
Okay, I have chosen 2 startups for myself, which
You're not making it easy, right?
Yeah, we already closed the voting, yeah? So
yes, we did.
I can tell about it, yeah. Okay, I like Matricelf. Because I like this topic very much, you know, biotech is my lowest probably. And we have really one in our portfolio already from the US. They are 3D printing parts of some tissue, and they already have revenue. And the second one I like is SpeedSize. Yeah.
Wow. That's wonderful. So the votes from Startup Network goes to those 2 startups. Thank you, Alexander. Okay, let's talk.
Not really only to them, to everybody, but yeah,
yes.
I like this probably most.
Yeah, but the most votes. Yeah, Zarmin, what did Australia like today? Please tell us.
Well, firstly, congratulations to all of the 10 founders and startups. They did an absolutely brilliant job. It is very difficult to pitch in 3 minutes, answer questions, and be on guard. So really would like to congratulate you all. It was very succinct, and thank you. Real privilege to be here. The ones that I like, I'm in the impact investing space, and we know that the global market has actually had a conscious investor come up, which is not a fad, but a mega trend. And so I look at not only unicorns that have the 100 times return, but also the 100 times impact on people or planet. And so my 2 favorites, if we're doing the 2, is the Matricelf obviously because of the future of medicine and the massive implications for people, but also Anker Pay because of the financial inclusion and this UN sustainable goals that it's trying to address, and the leapfrogging adoption that can happen for financial inclusion. So those two.
Thank you, Zarmeen, for your qualifying vote. And Anil, you see lots and lots of startup in India, lots of people, lots of startup, lots of VCs. And how did you like this selection of startups? Because we were selecting really good. We had more than, I guess, 80 applications. So one of 8 was selected.
Oh, Anna, I should compliment team for selecting, so wonderful, set of startups. Certainly there was some overlap, but, I came across some really interesting new, ideas. So compliments to you, your team, and all startups, for sharing their thoughts. But incidentally, I felt on, 2 startups, my thoughts actually matched with Alexander. And, the first company, of course, is, Matricelf. They're doing wonderful thing. If that's successful, will be, great, work to society and humankind. So certainly Matricelf, sits first on my work list. And I also like, second, the speed, size, because considering the quantum of data flowing, if they're able to do what they're doing, I think will be great service again, in transfer of big content seamlessly, and that's why I feel it's a second choice for me.
Thank you. Thank
Great
you.
job.
You were the voice of India. And Rico, Malaysia in Dubai. please tell us how's you, what do you think? What are your thoughts regarding the startups today?
I think today the startup are pretty interesting for me, in particularly 2 of the projects. I think I'm in the same page as Alexander. With the 2 projects he selected as well. One is because we invested into biotech, into human stem cells research and clinical research. And what they are doing there is very relevant to what we want to do. And their vision of our investment into that is to improve the quality of life for people. So I think that itself is very relevant to what we do currently. And for security, for content, privacies, and those sort of matters, that we also invest heavily in a lot of data storage, encryptions, protocols. We are also very heavily involved in the blockchain fintech space. So most of the projects here today are relevant to us, but some of them needs to have some improvement of their tweaking some of their business models, their business tangents, and also the scalability of their business, and the fund they are raising is very relevant to that. So I think some of these startups today may need some advice and how to improve their business model and structures and the fundraising approach. Other than that, today's startups are pretty good quality. Congratulations.
Wonderful, thank you. Rico and Stephen, please tell us, what did Hong Kong choose today as their favorite? Stephen, I see you online. Yes. Yeah, hi.
I think Hong Kong is at the gateway of the world's largest startup market, which is China.
Okay.
You have a lot more startup than any country in the world. And I think everyone done pretty well today. And I would make 2 suggestions. One is to act local and think globally. I mentioned on one of the B2B trading platform, there is everywhere, there are Alibaba, the Tencent, it's very progressive in terms of the fintech space. And so all of our participants must know what's going on in the world as a whole. You may be operating in one geography, but the world, especially because of internet, is global the minute you get online.
Yeah, but what did you choose? Who was your favorite? Name one startup who performed the best, who Pitch the best.
Oh, I want to
If
be
you were
diplomatic.
given only one medal, who would you give?
All three.
No, I think I want to be diplomatic. Everybody's done very well, and then
You're too diplomatic.
the importance is, there's a number of them. There is no path to profitability. When I asked about simple questions of EBITDA margin, burn rate, they
But
like,
who do you believe the most? Who would be unicorn? Our future unicorn?
I don't think, I don't want to be disrespectful. Nothing is new. Everything they've been presented, somebody else is doing it somewhere. That's why I emphasized the earlier point. They need to know what Alibaba has done. It's like 10 years ahead of the idea they were presenting just now. And the healthcare, the biotech, there's so much going on outside of their radar screen, which they don't seem to quite understand what's going on with some of them are startups, some of them are already publicly traded companies. They have all the financials, they know where the money is, they know how to make money. And so that's why the second point is important. It's the clarity of the business model. Where are they? Who are they presenting their pitch to? Ultimately, the judge will look at it from the perspective of an investor. An investor would ask about, the path to profitability. The investors would ask about the enterprise value. What is the business value at? If you want $1 million, would I then get 50% of your company? There's quite a number of them never really sort of thought about all that, apart from, I'm starting a business, my revenue is this, my cost is that. So the whole CapEx, OpEx, is not just something you delegate to the CFO. The founder, the owner, the entrepreneur must understand, if I'm gonna be burning money, how much I'm burning and when will I be cash flow positive? So those are very important questions, especially they're looking for investors. And every investor would ask the questions that I've asked today.
Thank you, Stephen. That was a diplomatic voice from Hong Kong. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. And right now, let's see how did startups do. Aren't you curious who won the first place and who was more than right? Okay, let's kick it.
So, yeah, the third place today goes to VenueX. Congratulations. So, second place goes to SpeedSize. And the winner of today's Unicorn Battle Middle East and Africa is Matricelf.
I cannot believe it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Our official judges are always right. What a relief. Wonderful. Matricelf, get ready for the Unicorn Cup finals on July 15th. You'll be presenting Middle East and Africa. So you will be competing with all other regions in the world, not Antarctica this time. So you do not to worry about penguins, but get ready.
Thank you very much for voting for us and joining us while we are regenerating the future of medicine. It's a small step for us, and we hope a big step for paralyzed patients. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your wonderful pitch. And now I would like to talk to our expert board. I have read some really interesting things about how you are guys doing in Middle East, in Africa, how is Israel doing with their venture finance and venture investing. And I would like to ponder on that a little bit. Okay, let's get the poll results published. So to have a little start. Yes, okay. So you prefer constantly expand your personal network most and collaborate with other VCs And not to miss, of course, out Unicorn.Events. Thank you very much for being so loyal. And that's what we do at our startup network. We have a special space where VCs can share deals. We do all those battles and pitches all over the world, so you can expand your network to meet real investors, to meet great startups. And I'm really glad that you're in the right place with the what you're doing right now. And I would like to start with talking with probably guys from Israel, Dubi and Alau. I have read that Israeli investments reached more than 5.5 billion in Q1 of 2021. And this is really good. And also in MENA, Rico, you can help me out since you're in Dubai, that in MENA, it has been Q1 has been one of the most successful, and on the first time in the row, Saudi Arabia outperformed the United Arab Emirates because but the funding of United Arab Emirates startups is still in the first place, but in the amount of money invested into startups, Saudi Arabia did the most. And Rico, let's start with you, because here I see on my screen. Why do you think this is happening? Because of the government support? Because governments are really strong right now in MENA in supporting venture capitalists, in supporting startups, or is it international investors or local investors? Rico, you're muted.
Sorry. I think it's more of the global trend now, and the fact that most of us are moving to Dubai this 2-3 months and the next couple of months is because there will be a Dubai Expo coming up in October. And in the MENA region, I think the policies on taxation is pretty low and pretty much no tax in most of the business that we do here. And the fact that a lot of expatriates are actually in this region, for those of you who have been in Dubai and Abu Dhabi and all around, you will know that there's so many billionaires around, and the resources that we have. Some of the politicians are actually living here in the African region as well. So some of the dictators are actually living here. So a lot of things are happening in this region where a lot of resources are in place. I say that the Abu Dhabi and the Dubai governments are very open on innovations in future financial transformations. The policies are pretty good. And the fact that it's a very safe place to be in at the moment, we still have a life here compared to if I'm in Malaysia now, I can't really go out. That really means a lot to us in terms of the freedom that we want in life. So I think a lot of people are actually moving here and setting up a lot of businesses here as well. No doubt the cost is quite high living here, but I think it's give and take in terms of what you want. So I think that's why a lot of businesses are actually, financial businesses actually opening up over here and actively fundraising and incubating and investing in many different companies.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Alon, are you with us? Because I don't, can you put your video on so we can talk to you regarding Israeli investing? And Dubi, I'm reaching out to you also. Can you put your video? Yes, Alon. I have read also in TechCrunch that Q1 of 2021 outperformed all last year, more than 89%, 5.5 billion is investing into Israeli startups. And this is all the same question to you. Local investors, international investors, government support, what changed that gave us almost 90% rise?
Not sure that anything changed. Israel has been a center for venture capital investment for many, many years. As I said, I think in my opening remarks, Israel is the largest innovation hub outside of the United States. Putting things in perspective, the first 5 largest innovation hubs in the United States are big. Each one of them is bigger than Israel, but just to understand the situation. Israel is a country with all our innovation, we are unbelievably thirsty to capital. It's actually the worst place to be someone who's coming up with a new innovation, valuation-wise, because the ratio between capital to innovation in Israel, regardless to the amount of capital that is coming to Israel, is still probably the worst ratio for sure compared to Europe and North America. So it's a magnet to investors. And if you take, for example, Intel Capital, don't catch me on the numbers, but probably the amount of staff that they have in Intel Capital covering Israel is larger than the whole staff covering all of Europe. Just to understand the perspective of when it comes to specific market segments, for instance, cybersecurity, Israel is probably responsible for 70% of the innovation globally. And so when you go to specific market segments, even more.
But did we experience the shift into industry? Because like what I read about MENA region as a whole is that they're every fifth startup who got investments over like 2021 and 2020 was fintech. Earlier it was e-commerce. So we experiencing a little bit shift. Israeli was always associated with the health tech, right?
Israel has a very strong health tech industry. I personally have 2 portfolio companies in that space, but actually cybersecurity, IT, defense, anything with that is AI based are much stronger industries in Israel than health or medtech. And actually, the opening relationships in the Middle East, especially with the UAE, for instance, are also creating shifts of investment. I don't know if anybody noticed, but several of the larger, actually Israeli players like Our Crowd, JVP, which are, even though they're Israeli VCs, they're actually global, very large global VCs, are now creating very strong presences in the UAE. And even one of my portfolio companies right now is considering relocating to the UAE and opening main facility there. So it's a trend that is actually very, very strong if you're looking at that point of view.
Cool. Yes, we will be experiencing many more news coming from there, right? And so do you think UAE will outperform Saudi Arabia? Because right now Saudi Arabia is like #1 in the list on the number or on the amount of investments. Not the number, but the amount.
I'm not an expert regarding UAE and Saudi Arabia. From my understanding, Saudi Arabia, economy-wise, it's huge. It's much bigger than the UAE on the capital size. But the UAE is more open for innovation to come in. So I'm assuming that the ventures will be coming in more to the UAE than to Saudi Arabia, but the business might be more in the Saudi Arabia.
Okay, thank you, Alon. You helped us a lot to understand what's going on in the region. Thanks a lot for your expertise. And I wanted to talk to guys about Africa also, because Africa is not doing that good. Like this first quarter of 2021, they raised 800 million, when we have startups like Snapshot that raised 500 million in one round, right? So like for the whole continent is nothing. But when we do our battles in Africa, I hear many more investors saying that we will looking into this continent, coming that continent. Why it's not like picking up the pace? That's what makes me wonder. But I had Yogama, he excused himself. Does any of you invest into Africa, dear VCs? If so, how you are doing there? What do you think the perspective is about investment into Africa? Has any of you? No, none. So that's why Africa is not doing that good.
I can
yeah,
add on
Arash,
that.
hi.
Hi, Rico. Do you wanna go first, and then I'll go after you?
Okay, sure. The African region is coming to an alliance. The African Union is making a lot of big moves, and we are looking in building a lot of infrastructures in African region, especially in the biggest 6 countries in Africa region. And we see the future in Africa. I see myself living in Africa one day in the next 5 to 10 years. We will be seeing the biggest GDP growth in the world in African region. So I would say that they are a huge potential in the African countries, and the adoption of tech is there. Obviously China and USA and many other big countries, top 10 countries, already invested a lot in building infrastructure over there.
So we will give Africa some more time. That's what you are saying. Right?
It is in motion. I think to get the startups out here is going to be tough at the moment, I think. But I think infrastructure-wise, telco, telecommunications, energy, agricultural, tech, healthcare, and mining operations are also growing as we speak. I actually look at quite a few mining businesses in Africa at the moment as well. But we are looking at how to actually remove chemicals in the process of the mining operations. For example, how to create a green gold mining and make sure that there's no more pollution of mercury in the people's life over there in the environment. It's part of the impact initiatives that we are working on from our side. We are looking at creating a program to teach children to code. We'll be looking at children underprivileged, autistics, orphans, single parent children, to give them free coding classes, train them how to code, and we hire them, we guide them, and bring them out of poverty. And we are targeting at the Africa regions as our pilot programs. This is an initiative by Sanctum with all the blockchain leaders that we are gathering now. We are setting up the World Blockchain Center initiative, which is an NGO initiative that focuses on this program, delivering the program, because we see the problem in the space where we are short of talents, and we need to groom that space. Okay, so these are some of the things that we are doing on our end. Thank you. And Arash, your turn.
Yeah, Arash.
Hi, thanks, Rika. Hi guys, my name is Arash Razai. I never got a chance to introduce myself earlier. I couldn't really get my camera right. I'm from an organization called StartTex. We come from a background of about 20 years in banking and legal services. So we actually own our own fund, we own our own legal company, we own our own tech company, our own digital marketing agency. And what we've done is we've created a nuance where we've given guys a platform to somewhat come onto this platform. And rather than guys being pitch ready, we assist them in becoming finance ready, of structuring the business operations so that we can eradicate this global issue of 80% of SMEs failing in the first 3 years. Because, the problem in the world is a lot of guys are raising capital, but they are not capable of using that capital for exponential growth. So in regards to the question about Africa, so we're based in Johannesburg, Cape Town. We're also in Spain, in Dubai, as well as our main entities. Actually, we moved it from San Francisco to Austin with this whole mass exodus and the tax benefits and the IP protections that we have to Texas. The problem essentially in Africa is that we have this political instability. Now, based on the political instability, the VC markets don't get the security that they want, which is why if you go and look at the financial transactions happening in Africa, they're more private equity based, where guys end up investing big amounts of money. And we have had billions and billions of dollars funded into private equity entities, but we are not getting the VC evaluations that America is getting. And everybody that's in this VC space, if you take an entity and you base it in the UK and you go and base it in the US, you're going to get about a 4 to 5 times higher valuation in the US, because they believe the VC model and the evaluation leverages quicker to the IPO. So in regards to the question of Africa, is that the political instability is what's holding back the VC capital injections here. But we do have a very, very strong private equity market, and we have a very strong venture debt market. We have one of the best financial systems in the world, where guys are raising enormous amounts of debt, especially from Canada, for renewable energy. We've got one of the highest debt raises in the renewable and the mining space in the world. But yeah, so
And you have lots of people, lots of wonderful, innovative people. Yes, I guess like in a couple more years, we will see this shift. And this online helps us all. It helps everyone to outreach to any ecosystem there is without need to do those complicated logistics or anything.
It's essentially down to the security issue. Africa has got the security issue because the laws are not as enforced as the rest of the world.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that's where our VC problem is, but hopefully that will change over time.
That's what we are doing. That's why we are here. Changing world for better, bringing best innovative solutions and helping people to meet, to grow together. And yeah, Abgam, I see that you're raising hand, but we need to wrap up our event. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. I see you all at our future events. The next one will be Silicon Valley this Thursday, already coming. And until July 15th, we'll have every Tuesday and Thursday events somewhere in the world. So be sure to stay with us. And thank you, Lena and Kate, for a great event.
Thank you, Anna.
See you all at the next event and July 15th, our Unicorn Cup. See you all there. Bye-bye.
Bye.